Hello and welcome to 3.TV. I am Ruchi Sharma.
And I am Vishakha Thakur. So we have got all the major global cryptocurrency news from the past week for you in the show. But before we start, let's cut across to Manoj Thara for the market check.
Bitcoin surged to new all-time high of $111,970 on May 22nd, coinciding with the Bitcoin Pizza Day. So Bitcoin has come off highs, trading close to around $1,09,000 on the back of a recent announcement by President Trump that he threatens to levy 50% on tariffs on the imports from the EU and a 25% tariff which is on the Apple iPhones that is coming into the US. And this is the reason why the market has seen some correction.
Thanks, Manoj. Strategy has purchased 7,390 BTC for approximately $764.9 million at an average price of $103,498 per Bitcoin, right after a class action lawsuit was filed accusing the firm of breaching federal securities laws.
So this latest acquisition increases the company's total Bitcoin holdings to 576,230 Bitcoin, now valued at roughly $60 billion. Now, the average purchase price of Strategy's entire Bitcoin position stands at $69,726.
So the purchase was financed through an at-the-market offering of its Class A common stock as well as the issuance of Series A STRK preferred stock.
And between May 12 and May 18, Strategy raised $705.7 million from the sale of common stock and issued 621,555 shares of its STRK preferred stock.
So, moving on, the Japanese hospitality firm Metaplanet has disclosed record-breaking earnings for the first quarter of the year, primarily attributing the success to its Bitcoin treasury strategy.
Now, according to the firm's Q1 earnings report, its Bitcoin strategy contributed 88% to its revenue of $6 million. So, Metaplanet's consistent BTC accumulation has also earned it the spot of 11th largest public company by Bitcoin holdings globally and number 1 in Asia.
From January 1st to date, Metaplanet has added 5,034 BTC to its balance sheet, increasing its holding by 3.9x to 6,796 BTC.
Wow, so they are close to 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yes.
So these purchases were funded by a moving strike warrant program, which enabled the company to issue equity without setting a fixed discount or strike.
Moving on, while the IMF has required limitations on public sector crypto engagement as part of a $1.4 billion loan agreement, El Salvador's Bitcoin office has continued purchasing 1 BTC per day.
And this strategy appears to have paid off as the country now holds a massive trove of unrealized gains worth over $357 million, driven by Bitcoin's recent rally as the crypto reached all-time high of over $111,000.
President Nayib Bukele shared a screenshot on X that revealed that El Salvador's BTC portfolio, which is now worth more than $644 million, was built on an initial investment of $287.1 million. As such, this has translated into over 124% profit margin.
And according to the data compiled by Bitcoin treasuries, the Central American country's holdings of 6,181 Bitcoin position it as the 6th largest sovereign BTC holder across the world, with the US topping the list, followed by China, the UK, Ukraine and Bhutan, respectively.
Moving on, Strive Asset Management has announced an initiative to build a 75,000 Bitcoin treasury by buying claims from the bankrupt crypto exchange Mt. Gox. These claims, valued at about $8 billion at current market prices, have been legally approved but have yet to be distributed.
So earlier this month, Strive announced its upcoming merger with asset entities, and if approved, the deal would create the first publicly traded asset management firm focused on Bitcoin. So the new entity will operate under the ASST brand with plans to adopt a Bitcoin treasury strategy.
Moving on, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for US Stablecoins Genius Act passed in a 66-32 Senate vote on May 20th.
So the passage has cleared a key procedural hurdle after Democratic senators initially blocked the bill earlier in May. And this vote to invoke cloture, a procedural motion that limits debate on a matter and requires a supermajority vote, now sets up the bill for floor debate.
The Genius Act was introduced by Senator Bill Hagerty in February with the goal of regulating the $248 billion stablecoin market.
So the stablecoin market is currently dominated by Tether, which has a commanding 61% market share with $151 billion USDT in circulation, and it closes rival Circle has a 24% market share with just over $60 billion USDC issued.
Moving on, the Texas House of Representatives has passed the third reading of SB 21, a bill that seeks to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the state. The bill passed in a 101-42 vote and will now go to Texas Governor Greg Abbott to either sign into law or veto.
So the legislation allows the controller to invest in any cryptocurrency with a market cap above $500 billion over the previous 12-month period. Currently, the only cryptocurrency fitting the requirement is Bitcoin.
If Abbott signs SB 21 into law, Texas will be the second US state to allow for the creation of a cryptocurrency reserve. New Hampshire became the first to do so on May 6 after Governor Kelly Ayotte signed House Bill 302 into law.
Moving on, the FTX Recovery Trust has announced it will begin disbursing more than $5 billion to creditors from May 30. This payment round marks the second distribution to eligible parties as the firm continues its efforts to reimburse those affected by its collapse.
So eligible creditors are expected to receive their funds through their selected distribution service provider, either Bitco or Kraken, within 1 to 3 business days after May 30th.
However, customers who onboard with the distribution service provider will forfeit the right to receive cash directly from the bankrupt exchange, with all funds sent through their chosen provider instead.
The FTX Recovery Trust also said that the repayment schedule for upcoming creditor classes will be announced in due course. If all claims are filed, total repayments could reach up to $16.5 billion.
So FIFA, football's global governing body, plans to use Avalanche's network to power its own dedicated Layer 1 blockchain.
The FIFA blockchain is an Avalanche L1, a customizable blockchain that uses Avalanche's technology.
Now, the news comes as the Avalanche network recently went through its major Avalanche 9000 upgrade aimed at attracting new developers and encouraging them to create customized Layer 1s.
Well, that's all in this episode of the Weekly Wrap. This is Mirchi Sharma signing off.
And this is me, Vishakha Thakur, signing off. For more such updates, do log on to our website, www.3versetv.io, or scan the QR code. Have a great weekend.